lesson is over multiply mixed numbers. Georgia wants to prepare half of the chocolate frosting. How much of each ingredient will she need? She needs to cut it in half, probably divide it by 2. So half of all of these ingredients. So half of 1/3. Here's a picture of 1/3. If you cut it up, half of 1/3 multiply across is 1/6. Half of 2 is 1. If you do not know why, think about it. You have 2. Half of 2 is 1. Or do the multiplication. 1/2 times 2, 1 is 2, 2, or 1 whole. This is 1. Half of half. Multiply across is 1/4. If you do not know, let me show you through model. Here is half of a thing. Cut in half, 1/4. And half of 2 is 1. So as you're cutting in half, so if the serving was 36 for 36 servings, 36 people, half of it would be for 18. All right, so Joanna gave each friend 5/4, which is an improper fraction, or 1 and 1/4, which is a mixed number pizza. Shade the pizza pans to represent the pizza she gave away to one friend. So she gave 5, 1/4, 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5/4, or 1 and 1/4. If Joanna has 4 friends and each friend received 5/4 or 1 and 1/4 pizza, how many pizzas did Joanna give away? So 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5/4. 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5/4. Don't get the burnt one. 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5/4. So she gave away 5 pizzas. What is the multiplication equation for this? This is repeated additions, 5/4 plus 5/4 plus 5/4 plus 5/4. Repeated addition is multiplication. That's 4 groups of 5/4, or 4 times 5/4. 1 and 1/4 plus 1 and 1/4 plus 1 and 1/4 plus 1 and 1/4. That's 4 groups of 1 and 1/4, or 4 times 1 and 1/4. So as you can tell, she gave 4 friends each 1 and 1/4. So multiplication is more efficient than repeated addition. Every day, Robert will eat 1 and 3/4, or do you know how to turn this into an improper fraction? I do it the popcorn method when I learned it. 4, you multiply the denominator and the whole number, is 4. You add up the numerator to it, that's 3, is 7/4. So we'll eat 1 and 3/4 or 7/4 of pizzas. Shade the pizza pan to represent the pizza he will eat. So 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 7, 4, or 1 whole and 3/4. In 3 days, how many pizzas will he eat? 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 7, 4. 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 7, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he will eat 5 and 1/4 pizzas. What is the multiplication equation for this? Instead of doing repeated addition, I do 3 groups of 1 and 3/4, or 3 times 1 and 3/4. Instead of doing repeated addition of 7/4, I do 3 groups of 7/4, or 3 times 7/4. And last but not least, let's try our last example, and then we're going to start talking about how do you solve an efficiently equation. John had 9/4. How do you turn this into a mixed number? 9/4. How many groups of 4 go into 9? 2 groups. That's 8. 2 and 1/4. Leftover. Shaded piece of rubber represents the leftover. So 9/4. Here's 9/4. John gave 2/3 of the leftover pizzas to his friend. So he had this many leftover. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He had 9/4. You're going to give 2/3 of it away. So let's divide this into thirds. Here is a third. Here is a third. Here is a third. Because there's 9 slices, a third of it is 3 each. It's going to give 2/3 away. You're going to give this way, this way. So he's going to give 6 slices away. 6/4, or 1.5. So how many pieces did Paul receive? He received 1.5. So you might say again, so he had 9 slices. divide it into thirds. So it's 3 slices here, 3 slices here, 3 slices here. He gave 2 of the 3 groups. So he gave 6 slices, and each one are cut into what? Fourths, or 1 1/2, or 1 2/4. So what's 2/3 of 9/4, 2/3 of 2 1/4? You know what? Some people do not like model. They rather do it efficiently. So let's try this one. Of means what again? Multiply. So John gave 2/3 of the 9/4 away, or 2/3 of 2 1/4. Remember, these are equivalent. So what do you remember about multiply fraction? You multiply across. That's 18 over 12. That's improper. Or how many groups of 12 go 18? One group. 1 is 6/12, which simplify to 1 1/2. Break it down by 6. In this one, 2 1/4. Do you notice how it's easier to turn this mixed number into an improper fraction and multiply across? So what we're going to be learning today, to multiply a mixed number, turn it to an improper fraction and multiply. So is 4 times 2 1/2 this? So here's the next one. Is 4 times 2 1/2 the same as saying 4 groups of 2 1/2? Yes. So here are 4 groups of 2 1/2. So all these represent the same thing. So 4 times 2 1/2. Can I rewrite this as an improper fraction? That 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5/2. So which equation is easy for you? So let's solve each one. 2, 4, 6, 8. Half and half makes 1. Half and half is 1. That's 2. That's 10. Let's look at this one. 4. How we could do 4 groups of 5 halves. So 4 groups of 5 is 20 halves, or 10. But mathematically, turn the 4 into a whole number. I'm sorry, it is a whole number. Turn this whole number to a fraction by writing a 1 below it. So multiply across. 4 times 5 is 20. 1 times 2 is 2. So in this one, I don't think this is very, very easier for me. I don't mind adding. That was okay, but I personally prefer this one. I personally prefer multiplying by improper fractions to come up with my answer. So I say this is easier. Next one. Is 6 times 3 2/3 the same as saying 6 groups of 3 2/3? So we have repeated addition. This is multiplication, 6 times 3 2/3, and 6 times 11/3. Where did the 11/3 come from? Oh, they turned this mixed number into an improper fraction. So which one will be easier for you? I am going to skip this. I am not going to be adding all these 2/3 over and over. So I'm going to go with this one. So what's 6 groups of 11/3? 6 groups, 11/3, 11/3, 11/3, 11/3, that'd be 66 thirds. Again, how did I come with that one? I turned this whole number into a fractional by putting a 1 under as the denominator, because it does not change its value. 6 divided by 1 is still 6. Multiply across 66 thirds, which simplify. How many groups of 3 go in 66? 22. So I say this is easier. If I had done this one, I would have to add 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. That would have been 18. And we'll have to add 2/3, 2/3, 2/3, 2/3, 2/3, 2/3. Oh, goodness gracious. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 thirds. That's the same thing as saying 4. Hey, I got the exact same answer. But I say this is easier. So how do you multiply mixed number? Do you see how they turn a mixed number into an improper? We turn mixed numbers to improper fraction. And then you multiply across, multiply the numerator, multiply the denominator, and then you simplify if needed. All right, so let's practice this. 1/3 of 4 1/2. So 1/3 of means multiply. 4 1/2. Is there a way to write this as an improper fraction? That's 9 halves. So multiply as 9/6, which could be also written as 1 3/6, or 1 1/2. 1/4 times 3 1/2. What's a fourth of 3 1/2? So 3.5 as an improper fraction is 7/2. How? 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 7/8 is the answer. There's another way to do this called an area model. Some people prefer this, some people do not. 1/4 is written as 1/4. 3.5 can be broken down to 3 half. Because 3 plus 1/2 is 3.5. So what you do in the area model, this one, you multiply 3 times 1/4. That's 3/4. You multiply 1/4 by 1/2. You get 1/8. So you add these up. So if you any of you do lattice multiplication, this is what it is. Do they have a common denominator? What's another way to rename 3/4? 6/8. 6/8 plus 1/8 is 7/8. Some people like this way, but others say, ugh. Here you have to know how to multiply and add fraction. This one you're just turning it into a improper fraction and multiply. Let's do another one. 6 groups of 2 2/3. That's multiply. Can you write 2 2/3 as a improper fraction? That would be 1/3. What's 6 groups of 8? That's 48 thirds, or turn the 6 into 6/1. So how many groups of 3 go to 48? I believe 16 times. If you don't know, let's divide it out and find out. It is 16 groups. Difficult. 2 mixed number. What's 2 1/5 times 1 1/2? Let's think about it. Is this more than one whole? It is. So will our answer get greater? Will it get larger than this quantity or get smaller? I predict it will get larger. So let's turn this into an improper fraction. That's 11/5. 10 plus 1 is 11. Turn this into a proper fraction. That's 3/2. That's 33/10. Or how many groups of 10 go in 33? 3 groups. 3 and 3/10. So it did increase by 2 1/5. Last but not least, without model, can you find these answers? Half of 4.5. So 4.5, it represents 9/2. So I'm going to just turn all of these into 9/2. So half of 9/2 is 9/4. 1/4 of 9/2 is 9/8. 1 times 9/2 is 9/2. 3/2 times 9/2 is 27/4. Let's go back and turn each one to a mixed number. How many groups of 4 go to 9? 2 groups. That's 8. That's 2 1/4. How many groups of 8 go into 9? 1 and 1/8. How many groups of 2 go to 9? 4 1/2. How many groups of 4 go to 27? 6 groups, that's 24. 6 to 3, 4. Oh, I forgot one here. And 2 groups of 4 1/2, that's 18 over 2, and that's 9. So what do you notice about 4 and 1/2? We kept using it over and over. When the first factor is less than one whole, these numbers all got smaller, so it decreases. When you multiply by 1, it stays the same. And when you multiply by a number that is greater than 1, like 3/2 and 2, you're making it larger, so it increases. And last but not least, Mr. Joe is baking a rectangular cake for Tyra. Yes, Tyra. The area of the cake is 3.5 inches by 5 3/4 inches. How do you do area again? Area is length times width or base times height. So 5 3/4 times 3.5. Let's turn this into an improper fraction. It's 23/4. This is 7/2. We multiply this across. It's 161 over 8. He has only enough frosting for 17 square inches. Will he have enough frosting for the entire rectangular cake? Let's see. How many groups of 8? Remember, how do you say this? 161 divided by 8. 161 divided by 8. Or 161 divided to 8 parts. How many groups go to 8? How many groups of 8 go to 16? 2 times. How many groups of 8 go into 1? 0 times. So it's 20 and 1/8. Do I have enough? This cake is, the area of this cake is 20 and 1/8. I only have enough frosting for 17. So only up to this part will get frosting. So do I have enough for her? No. Plus I don't like frosting. I hate frosting. So I'm good with that. And so again, how do you turn a mixed number into an improper fraction? You turn it to a mixed number. How do you multiply a mixed number? Turn the mixed numbers to improper fraction, multiply across, and simplify if needed.